Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have done a lot of hauls recently, so today I thought I'd do some review of the products that I picked up at the Sephora VIB. I am not going to review everything, just some of the standout products to me, whether I liked them or didn't like them, or parts of those products that I did like, parts that I didn't. So let's just jump in. The first thing I want to talk about is these. These are the Becca Light Chaser highlighters. I did pick up two. I got Amethyst Flashes Geode, which is this guy here, and it looks like this. And I also got Opal Flashes Jade, which looks like this. So this one is a more wearable shade, I do have to say. It is more wearable initially. It does have a jade flash to it, so it is going to appear green in certain lights on your face. I do like both of these. They are both beautiful. This one I wear more often because it is more wearable. This one I like more as like a blush topper or a straight up blush. So with that being said, I have only worn it as a straight up blush once, and it actually fared pretty well on my face. It didn't just sit on top of my skin like a lot of these, duochrome highlights would. The ABH Aurora Glow palette I have found just kind of sits on my skin, which isn't my favorite. I do love it, don't get me wrong, but it just sits on my skin a little weird. So these guys actually don't sit, they actually blend in and they look beautiful. So this one I have worn as a blush on its own a couple times, or one time. It is beautiful that way, but I do like it best as a blush topper. This one is a beautiful highlight. They're both super pretty. So like I said, these colors are both beautiful. This one is Opal Flashes Jade. This one is Amethyst Flashes Geode. This one just is so much prettier as a blush topper than it is as a highlight, because it is pink and it goes on your skin pink. It's very pink. So it should have, in my opinion, been marketed as a blush. But maybe some people like straight up pink highlight. The next thing I want to talk about is also from Becca. They are these guys. This is the Becca First Light Priming Filter, and this one is the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. These are beautiful. This one comes out far more liquidy than what I'm used to. So the first couple times I used it, I used a lot more than I needed to be. So just beware, this one is going to be a lot more liquidy than a lot of primers for the most part. This one is my favorite of the two. I like it so much. I've been wearing it non-stop. I'm afraid it's going to be gone soon. I might have to buy a full size because it's just stunning. You can wear it by itself and it does amazing things to your skin. The other day I had a no makeup day, and literally I was just wearing this and a moisturizer, and then this, and then a BB cream, and my face looks so good. I feel like it looked a lot better than I've seen it look before with just a moisturizer, a primer, and a BB cream. But it is a beautiful primer. So this is it when it comes out, and I'll put a little bit of the First Light on my skin too, so that you guys can see the difference in the consistency used. This one is the First Light Priming Filter, this purple here, and do you see how just really liquidy it is? You can blend it in and it blends nicely. This one is the Backlight Priming Filter, and it is more of a creamy base, and it just leaves this beautiful iridescence on your skin. It's just so pretty. I love it, and will probably end up buying a full size of this. This one I like, but I just don't love it. I just am not in love with it. The next thing I have that I want to talk about is the Urban Decay Hi-Fi Ultra Comfort lip gloss. So if I'm being 100% honest, I do like it. It smells amazing. It sits comfortably on your lips. It smells like Thin Mints from Girl Scout cookies, so it's pretty amazing. But its staying power, y'all, is not long. It's not long. I wore it the other day in a video. I think it was my video that went up on Monday. I actually had to reapply it like 3 times during that video, just making that video. And after that video was done, I reapplied it again to go somewhere. So 4 times in like an hour's time. But like having to reapply it 3 times in the matter of an hour just to make it last through a video, it doesn't seem worth it to me. I do like it. It does sit comfortably. I just don't like its staying power. It just doesn't stay for very long. The next thing I want to talk about is this Laneige Special Care Lip Sleeping Mask. I love this stuff. So my lips are always chapped. Always chapped. And I can't get away from them being chapped. They just seem like they are destined to be that way for the rest of my life. But I started using this stuff, and it actually has made my lips look very nice when I'm using it, and I can definitely tell the difference between my lips when I use it and my lips when I don't. So like today, I did not use it. I didn't use it last night, and I haven't actually used it in a couple days. But when I am using it, my lips feel so soft, so moisturized, plump. They look healthy. They look great. When I'm not using it, not so much. The next thing I want to talk about is the Park Avenue Princess Chisel palette. You guys, this packaging is beautiful, and that's initially what drew me into this. But this palette is awesome. It sits, I'm a fan of Tarte, though. I love how Tarte sits on my skin. I use this color almost every day. I am wearing it today. I think that it is a beautiful match to my skin tone with just a little pop of color so that I don't look all chiseled but more natural, and I like that. It ranks right up there for me with the Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette. This has lighter, warmer tones in it though than that does, so it comes across more as a natural bronze than it does a straight up contour. But with that being said, it actually works really well as well. I mean, I don't feel like this looks muddy or dirty. It does look, which sometimes you get into when you're using like bronzer as a contour, because bronzer is warm. So and like for me, contour shades should be a little more gray based. It's very pretty. It's very pretty. And it is a great go-to like travel palette because of how it closes. It does have a little latch closure, but it also has multiple tones that you can use and a couple highlights as well. I have not tried the highlights in this palette yet, but I have used this one here almost every day, and I've also used this one here a couple times. So it's a great palette. If you guys are looking for a chisel palette or a sculpting palette, this is a great option. It is beautiful packaging. This is all raised. Beautiful packaging, but also just an amazing product. Along the lines of bronzers, I also got this Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer in Tantastic. This is the bronzer that I wanted. I didn't want the black case one, and I was so bummed out because up until right before the sale they only had the black one. So this is it. It is a huge bronzer with a huge mirror. I love this bronzer. It is beautiful, and I've used it probably a handful of times. I have a lot of product, but I've used it a handful of times, and you can hardly even tell that I've used it. You can see some swirling in the pan, but I feel like it's going to last forever. It smells divine, and it just sits so beautifully on my face. Just sits so beautifully on my face. So I do love this. I think it's an amazing bronzer. Would I ever repurchase this guy? As we know, I got everything in my Sephora VIB haul for like $14.86, even though I spent like $400. I had a bunch of gift cards that I had received because of my points. This is a $56 bronzer. I would never spend $56 on a bronzer, ever. So I hope this lasts forever, because it is an amazing bronzer, but I would never spend that amount of money on this. I just kind of feel like it's really not that worth it. It is beautiful. It smells delightful. It sits on your skin so beautifully, but there's not one product that I feel like is worth that much money, honestly. It's only one product, just one. It's not like a palette of products. It's just one product. Why? Why spend that much on a bronzer? It is beautiful. It is beautiful. The next thing I want to talk about is this Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Duo Enlightening Dust and Fire Crystal. So it comes in packaged like this, and it does have a rather large mirror, which I think is fantastic. These are the two highlighters in there, and if you guys can't tell, I have used the poop out of this highlighter. I am obsessed with that highlighter. It is the highlight that I'm wearing today. It is just so pretty, and it's bam highlighter, but it looks so beautiful on your skin that it's almost also natural. So you guys see it on my face on this side. I don't like it on my nose. I use this one on my nose because it's a little more subtle, and I don't like to look like Rudolph. So I don't use it on my nose, but I am obsessed with this highlighter. If it ran out, I would have to get another one. I do like the other one I got as well. It was Hustla Baby, and it's more gold. I do like that one as well. I just don't wear it as much because I go to work at Starbucks every single day, so I like to have this like natural-esque look to my face, even though it's not. So I don't use that one as much because it is a really apparent gold. Not like Trophy Wife gold, but it is a really apparent gold. It reminds me a lot of the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in, what is it, Prosecco Pop? It reminds me a lot of that, just a little more deep, than that. It's beautiful. This, more beautiful. I don't think I could, I would need another one if I ran out of this. And you guys, I think you can probably tell, I used the poop out of it. I am in love with this. The only thing I hate about this product is this packaging, which I also love. I love that it's white and it's kind of like got this iridescence to it. So depending on which way you look at it, it kind of shifts purple. I love that. This closure is almost childproof though. It is so tight. I've almost jammed my finger into my product. I don't know how many times trying to get this thing open. So I do like it. It's just the clasp on it is just super hard to get open. So the next thing I want to talk about is this Natasha Denona Mini Sunset palette. You guys, I love this. I will insert a picture in here of me wearing this palette. This is a beautiful palette, and I did not think that this was going to be like a standalone palette. Like, you can't do much with 5 shades, right? I have palettes in my collection that have, you know, 26 shades that aren't standalone palettes. So how is a 5-pan palette going to be a standalone palette? This is a beautiful palette, and it is definitely a standalone palette. This is a beautiful all over the lid shade. This makes actually a beautiful transition shade. It is a little bit dark, but if you mix the two colors together, it actually comes out very, very pretty. Kind of like a light teddy bear brown color. And then I used this in the crease, in the deep part of the crease, which is odd because I would never use a shimmer color in the crease, but that's definitely shimmer. I used it in the very, very deep crease, and then I used this color all over my lid, and then this color as the highlight under my brow bone, or on my brow bone and my inner corner. It was just stunning. It was stunning. And I will insert a picture because, I mean, you can probably create like 2 or 3 looks with this palette, but it is a standalone palette that you can create 2 or 3 looks with for $25 and 5 Natasha Denona shades. So I am not unhappy that I purchased this palette. Not unhappy at all. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Seal It Glitter and Glows. I just recently did, you guys probably saw it, it was my Monday video, a liquid eyeshadow showdown in which I featured these as part of that. These are beautiful. They stay all day. They are creaseless. There is kind of a bit of fallout with them. So if you're not into, you know, glitter all over your face at the end of the day, you probably don't want them. But the majority of them don't budge. They stay where you place them. There is a chunkiness to them, though, that will flake throughout the day. But they don't crease, and they look beautiful on your eye from morning to night. I got a good 16-hour wear out of these guys, so I'm not mad at that. The next thing I want to talk about is the Huda Beauty lip contour set that I got. So this lip contour is in Spice Girl, and then it came with 2 mini liquid lips, and these guys are Spice Girl and Venus. This is Spice Girl, this is Venus. I will say that this has become my favorite lip pencil. I love this lip pencil. It's a beautiful color and it's perfect for me. I feel like it's kind of a real dark brown color and it's just beautiful. I like it. I am wearing it today. I am also wearing both of these colors. It is dark. I don't mind that. I'm kind of into the dark shades on my lips. I kind of like them a little bit more than I actually like the lighter shades. That's kind of where I've been steering. But these lip products are really wet. And for me, a person that makes a damn mess with liquid lipsticks, they're really hard to use. Super hard to use. Because I put them on and then they want to go everywhere. And then I'm like trying to, you know, put them back onto my lip, and then they get all over my fingers, and then in turn I forget to wipe it off, which is user error, right? It's user error. It's very user error, but they're super wet. But with that being said, they're also very comfortable because they're wet, I believe. I believe because they're wet, they're very comfortable. I have a lot of matte liquid lipsticks that dry down like super fast. And they're unforgiving, first and foremost, which I find that these are pretty forgiving because they're wet. Like I said, I push them back onto my lips. And there's not like this ring of liquid lip around my lips where it stained my, you know, skin. Thank God. The liquid lipsticks that I typically use are super matte, super drying, really unforgiving, and they don't last very long before you get, you know what, that horrible look on your lips where half of your lipstick is gone. And I think a lot of people call it butthole lip. I don't know. I don't want to call it that because I think that's nasty. But these are better than that. They are amazing. I have been wearing this pretty much all day. I have touched up with these guys, making a mess of it all, wiping around that mess, but they're very comfortable. They're very comfortable, and I feel like it's because of how wet they are. But if you are like me and make a mess with liquid lips, know that these stay wet for quite some time. So you're gonna have to know that and go into it knowing that so that you don't get it everywhere. For a person that does not do well with lipstick in the first place, just a wet liquid lip, one that doesn't dry down immediately, is great because of its forgiving nature, but also messy because it's wet for a lot longer than I feel like it should be. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is this Cinema Secrets Makeup Brush Cleaner. You guys can see that I did use some of it. It is in a spray bottle over here. So I used some of it, realized how magical it was, and then I decided I don't want to use all that up in one shot. So I quit using it and started using the Japanese stuff that I have because it doesn't cost me hardly anything, and I love this stuff. It is, like I said, magical. I put one spray on my brush and it cleans off my brush like no other. It is amazing, and I will be using it more. And if you guys remember when I did the initial Sephora VIB haul, when I smelled it, I said it kind of smells like vanilla, which is what it boasts on the website, but it smells more chemically. So I will say that that is true still when you smell it from the bottle, but when you spray it out and spray your brushes with it, it actually smells less chemical and more vanilla. So I love it. I think it's amazing and magical, and I'm so happy I picked it up, and I can't ever, I think, live without this in my life again. So when it's gone, I will be repurchasing it. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is this Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. So I did a get ready with me using this, and I love this palette, you guys. I'm so sad that I kept it out of my life for as long as I did because it is beautiful. The only color I don't like, and I did mention this in that get ready with me, is this amethyst here, and I've used it a couple times prior to making that get ready with me, which I'll link up here. I will link that video. I used it before that video, and I've used it a couple times since that video, and it's just not an amazing color. It is kind of chalky, kind of rough to the touch, and it just doesn't look, I mean, it's just not a good color. I feel like it has a different life, has a better life. It's not living its perfect life in this palette. I feel like the other colors in this palette are so buttery and so soft. And sorry, there was a man walking around in my backyard. It happens to be my man. I just didn't know he was back home. Except for that one, which is really rough to the touch, has no pigmentation, no color payoff whatsoever. Doesn't last very long on your eyes. It's just not a very good color. But the rest of them are beautiful. This one is absolutely stunning on your eyes. This one also absolutely stunning on your eyes, and they're duochrome colors. So this one has kind of a red shift to it, and this one is like a pink purple, which is just beautiful. This one is called Twilight, and this one is called Retrograde. They're both just stunning. I have even used Cosmo, which I did in the Get Ready With Me, which was super fun. I love it. It was my first experience with kind of like a loose glitter. All of them are just beautiful. They're just beautiful. I'm not unhappy I purchased this palette. I am so happy it's in my life, and I am sad that I like put the big kibosh on it for so long, because I mean, I'm not like sad. There are worse things in the world than not having a palette, right? But it's a very expensive, I dropped that. It's a very expensive palette that I swore off for quite some time because of how expensive it was. But I'm super happy to have it in my life. And it was actually in an anti-haul I did. I'm very sad that it was in an anti-haul that I did. But with that being said, I didn't purchase it with actual physical dollars. I purchased it with a gift card, so I didn't spend my money on it, right? I mean, that's the way I look at it. The last thing I want to talk about is this. It is the Violet Voss Pro Eyeshadow Palette Like a Boss. This packaging is beautiful. I love the packaging on this guy, and it has a giant mirror, and these are the colors. This palette is beautiful. It's actually what I'm wearing today. It is a standalone palette all on its own, while I believe that the, wow, hair. I believe that the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette is also a standalone palette on its own. I feel like this one is more of a daily option. And the reason why is because it's not like got one set tone to it. It has multiple tones to it. It has a lot of mattes in it. The only thing I will say about the mattes is some of them, like, I feel like they're more satiny than they are straight up matte. So with that being said, they appear beautifully on your eyes. Like, I mean, I am using today, this eye is kind of a mess right now, but I am using this color all over my lid and in the highest part of above my brow bone, or above my crease. I am also using this color, which is called Batty, in my, just above my crease. I am using this color called Strong, and it is in my deepest part of my crease and on the outer and inner corners of my eyes. And then I've got a Smart AF on the middle section right here for a halo eye. And then I've got this color Swag just on the dead center of that. I put Batty also underneath my eye in the lower lash line. I think this palette is so pretty. So you have Hustle, which is kind of a tangerine cream matte color. Batty, which is a taupey brown color, and this one I feel like is a little more satin than a matte, but and it looks more satin than matte. It's not like shimmery, but it is, if that makes any sense. Then you have Queen, which is like a rusty copper color, kind of red, but more like copper than straight up red. Then you have Batty. I'm sorry, that's not Batty, that's Boss, which is kind of like a dark, dark brown, just a medium dark brown. And then you have is Strong, which is like a dark chocolate brown, and that is the color that I have on the outer and inner corner of my eye. This one is Fierce, and it's kind of like a champagne-y color. This is Serve, and it's kind of like a red-brown. This one is Realness, and this is like a copper penny color, and it's a beautiful color. I like wearing it with this yellow here. So pretty. This one is Work, which is kind of a burnt red color. This one is Snatched, which is definitely really a, it reminds me of the red brown that is in the Modern Renaissance palette, and I can't remember what that is called. This one is Women Crush Wednesday, I believe. That's what WCW stands for, and it is just a really light brown color. Amazeballs is more of a champagne gold. So this one is kind of like a champagne pink. This one is a champagne gold. Then you have Girl Crush, which is a straight up gold, yellow gold. Then you have Adulting, which is kind of a green gold almost, like a coppery brownie color. Then you have Motivate, which is kind of this like gray colored taupe. And you have Swag, which is in my brow bone and my inner corner. It's definitely duochromy. It's like this white champagne color with a shift of gold. It's really pretty. Then we have Extra, which is a gold green brown. It's like tri-shifty. It's really kind of chartreusey, which I love. Chartreuse is my favorite color of green. Then you have Smart AF, which is what is in the center of my eye for my halo eye. It is a duochrome. It is a green that shifts, or well, a brown that shifts green, and vice versa. Then you have this guy, which is Royal, and this is a deep, deep green color. And this guy, which is Inspo, which is a black color. And that is that black. You guys, that is the blackest black on the planet in a palette. Like, I really could not believe that black in a palette. It reminds me of my eyeliner, to be honest. So this was a rather new palette when I purchased it, and I kind of knew that but didn't know that. So I wanted to make sure that at the end of this video, when I talked about this palette, that I went a little more into it. I know that there's reviews out there right now, but the pans, you get 20 pans in this, and the pan size on this is 0.06 ounces or 1.8 grams, which, just to put it into perspective for y'all, the ABH palette pans are 0.02 ounces. So these pans are huge, and you get 20 shades, which is 6 more than the ABH palette, and it's only $3 more than the ABH palettes. They are $42. This one was $45. The fallout on this is, there is fallout. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there is fallout. I find that the straight up mattes have no fallout. The shimmery satiny mattes have a little more fallout. I did not have a fallout problem with Swag, but I did with Smart AF. And it's annoying. You just brush it off, though. Just my suggestion is, if you have a problem with that, either use guards or do your eyes first. It's amazing. It's an amazing palette. I'm not sad I purchased it. I will forever be a Violet Voss fan. This was my first Violet Voss palette, and I'm really excited that I got it. So with that being said, that is the end of my Sephora VIB follow-up. I just wanted to do a little review of the products some of the products that I received in that haul. I think I'm only missing like a few things. The nail polish that I bought, another Fenty product, the Gloss Bomb, which, if I have to be 100% honest, I'm not a huge fan of the Fenty Gloss Bomb. It smells like cherries, it tastes like cherries, which kind of reminds me of cough syrup, so I'm not a huge fan. It's a beautiful gloss, it's super sticky. Maybe I'm just not a gloss girl, but I love buxom glosses, so like I feel like I'm a gloss girl. I wore glosses well before I wore lipsticks, so I feel like I'm a gloss girl. I just don't like that one. The smell of that one even, I don't like. I love the smell of the Hi-Fi from Urban Decay, so like I continue to use that because it smells good enough to eat. The Gloss Bomb lives in my purse, and it is a great gloss. It's a pretty gloss. I just don't like it. The Tarte Skin Twinkle palette that I also got in that haul, I haven't really used, if I'm being honest. The Urban Decay lip pencil in Freak, I love. It's just this baby pink color. I love it. Other than that, like that, I really did go through almost everything that I got in the Sephora VIB haul. I really hope that you guys enjoyed my review. I hope I hit on all the points that you wanted when, you know, I said that I was going to do a review of those products. This on my face, this is all my Violet Voss palette. This is Fenty, and then I have the Chisel palette as my contour, and this is my Huda Beauty lip contour kit. I love all those products. Love them. Not sad that they're in my collection. So I hope that if you like this, you give me a big thumbs up. I also hope that you'll want to subscribe on your way out. I love and enjoy watching this fabulous YouTube family of mine grow, and I do post 3 times a week at least, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday or Sunday, dependent on how my week is going. Unfortunately, yes, it does depend on my actual job. So I hope that you'll also hit that bell so that you're notified when I do upload. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. Remember, I love you so much, and I appreciate the fact that you spent a few moments of your day with me today, because I know that you absolutely do not have to. Thank you so much again, and until next time. Bye, guys.